Hi guys, how's everybody doing? I hope all is well with you and your families. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Nancy, and let's get into it, guys. So if you're still saying things like life is not fair, I can do good by myself, I don't need anybody, nobody cares, nobody appreciates me, what else? Uh, it's not my fault that I'm like this. You just don't understand. There is no way I can do that, and there's no way I can do this and this. Just excuses all the time. Then you need to stay tuned because I'm talking about that. Poor me mentality, the victim mentality. I was stuck in this victim mentality and I didn't even know it until my loved ones, especially my family, started saying, oh, you're just playing that poor me game. You're pulling out that poor me victim card again. They kept on saying it. So I was like, oh, wow, what is this? I didn't even know I was playing that game. I didn't know it's a game. That's when I was like, okay, what do they mean? Because I found myself saying the same things over and over. You just don't understand. You just don't understand. I don't need you. I can do good by myself. I don't need anybody. Nobody cares. Nobody appreciates me. I would say things like that over and over and over. So when I realized that that was a victim mentality that I was possessed with and didn't even know it. I don't want to say possessed with it. Lack of a good term. I would say it's stuck in this cycle of poor me syndrome. Actually, I didn't even know it. So when they started saying that over and over, when I make an excuse or I'm angry and say things that are not nice, then they will say, you know what, you're just playing that poor me game again. You're pulling that victim card again on us. So with this poor me mentality, if your loved ones keep on saying, oh, you are overly sensitive, you are taking things too seriously and personally, you're overreactive on small little stuff, or they might say too dramatic. Maybe that drama might be a small little issue, then you become so angry, which is not something that is called for anger. Then you might be stuck in that poor me mentality, really the victim mentality. You might be stuck in that. Yeah. So me hearing this feedback over and over again, I got sick and tired of that. So it's either I had two choices. I could just be numb to what they are saying, which in some cases I did, but then I got tired of this poor me mentality also. I got tired of being called or names or labeled with this, oh, you're just playing a poor me card, or you're playing this game again. And to me, I'm like, this is not a game. So I think I just got tired of being labeled that way. I did what I know what to do, which was let's see what we can do about this poor me mentality. Is it even a problem, or my families are just being insensitive about the whole situation? So yeah, I start doing those book thing, searching what is this poor me syndrome, what is this poor victim mentality, how does it look like. I start just going to the library and searching books about this poor me mentality, actually. And yeah, everything those books I read, it defined me. I mean, me to the T. I thought, okay, was somebody studying me somewhere, writing this book? Because all the books, they talked about all the excuses that I was making, what I did, how I reacted. Everything was in those books. So in these books, that's where I learned that, this is not something you're born with. It's something that you learn. It's a learned behavior to cope with your pain. I'm going to actually write some of the books that really helped me in the comment section. If you're interested, you can look for them and read them. They were really helpful for me. If you are stuck in this situation, or maybe you know somebody your loved ones who is stuck in this situation, then you can help that person by listening to the words that are coming out of their mouth. If you are the person who is stuck in this poor mentality, then listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth. They will tell you exactly where that pain is, because you are going to be talking, screaming. Anytime you're given an opportunity, you are going to be saying something about your pain, and you don't even know you are saying something about your pain, but really that pain will be in your words every single time. And if you are trying to help, let's say, your spouse in this poor mentality thing, just listen. Even in the situation where they are ranting, they are angry, as long it's not physical, of course. If they are ranting, like they're off, shouting, everything that's coming out of their mouth is shouting. If you are the mature one in that relationship and you want to help your spouse, then my advice for you is to just listen. Because when they are shouting on their and ranting, that's when they're going to say the deeper things of their pain. I'm saying this out of experience because I thank God, and I'm not bragging, but I just have to give glory and honor to God for my husband, because he was the mature one in the relationship and he was so patient. God used him tremendously, really, in this whole healing journey. Because when I go in my anger outbursts, and I was not a physical, I'm gonna punch you, or no, not like that, but I would scream. Like, everything that comes out of me was like so loud, like I didn't know what to do. So my anger was just to shout. So everything will be just shouting, and then it will go from shouting to saying things that has unnecessary things that have nothing to do with what is on hand. I'll be talking about something else that has nothing to do with what's going on in that particular moment. So that's why I'm saying, when they are in that place of ranting, that's the place where you can be so patient and just listen. Just listen. And looking back, I didn't even know that my husband was actually taking notes in his head. And then when we go out, just wait, be patient. Don't even bring it out on that day when they are angry, because that won't work with somebody who's going through healing. You just have to wait for a moment where they are back to their normal self. Everything is nice. You go out to eat in public, and then you bring it up, like, you know what, that's what my husband used to do. Like, then he'll say, oh, well, you remember that day when we had an argument about this and this and that? You said some things that are bothering me. You said the A, B, C, D, Y. That's what he would say, in a calm, nice way. And then all of a sudden, because obviously I wasn't healed at that point, so you go from blaming the people to now blaming your anger. So I went from blaming my husband in that situation, but now, because we are in another environment where it's calm and where it's happy, now I'm blaming the anger. Oh, I was just angry. I don't even know why I said that. So that was an excuse to get out of that situation very quick. So when you are patient and you just take notes of what they are saying, bring it up when they are in their happy mood, they'll be able to explain themselves, or you will be able to explain yourself. If you are in that now maturity where you are growing spiritually, you would be able to take notes, and then in your alone time with God, you'd now ask questions like, why, God? Why did I act in that manner? Why did I say those words like, I don't need you, I can do good by myself, nobody cares, I feel like I'm alone, yet you people are around me, this and that and that and that, the list can go on. So in that environment where my husband is calm and we are in a happy mood, when he's telling me about my actions, I would ingest every word that he was telling me. Of course, I would blame it on anger because I wasn't healed. I was going through that victim mentality. So I would ingest what he was telling me, and then during my alone time, my me time, I would now revisit the whole entire situation, and I'll feel so guilty. And because I didn't have that personal relationship with God, I will try to do everything out of my strength. So after I feel guilty, after I check what I said, I'll then say, you know what can I do to change this behavior? I'll go to the library, find a help book that was talking about that particular situation. I would implement what the help book would tell me. And of course, for whatever days it might work, but guess what? I would fail many, many times. But because I was already trying to change, I knew that, of course, that time I didn't know that a transformation seed was planted in me. That hunger to change was already planted by those books a little bit. So I would go again at it. I would repeat it again because I was so desperate now. Like, oh, I don't want to keep making my loved ones feel guilty because I cannot face what's chasing me. I was just sick of everything. So this is just for advice for those who, if you have a spouse that is stuck in this poor mentality, this is a way you can help them. Just listen, take notes, and on another day, you can discuss it with them in a intelligent, wise manner, because you are the mature one, you are the normal one in this situation, so you'll be able to present this in a very intelligent way, wise way. So that helped me. So now if you are the one who's in this poor mentality, poor me syndrome, this victim mentality, then listen to what your loved ones are telling you. And always have that quiet time with you, which you have, because, in situations like this, just talking on my own behalf, I love the me time. I love my alone time. I love it. I like to be alone. That wasn't an issue. So during those alone time, if you don't have alone time, you need to have alone time. Go to the park where you are by yourself with no phone, with nothing that distracts you, and just listen to what you are saying in that brain, because you are it takes training. And this, I learned it through those help books that I was reading. Like, listen to what you're telling yourself. What are you repeating in your mind every time? If you catch it, you'll be able to catch more stuff that you're saying to yourself. So check those check out those words that you're saying when you're angry. Start recording it. Why did I say that? Why? And if your relationship now with God is really intimate now, then you really need to go to God. Like, why, God? Why did I say these words? Why do I feel like nobody cares? Why do I feel like nobody appreciates me? Why do I feel like everyone is using me? Why do I feel like I just want to be by myself? Why do I keep on saying those things? Do I want to be by myself? Ask those questions to God directly. Like, why? And he'll give you the answer. And study those irritations, those triggers. Why is this thing trigger me all the time? Why does this, when I see one dish in the sink, just one dish, why would a dirty dish trigger me to that extent? So you start studying those irritations, your reactions. Like, why did I overreact like that? Why did I over exaggerate my words? Like, why would I do that? What was I trying to hurt inside me? So if you're honest with yourself, you have somewhere where to start to help you. So be very honest with yourself. Critic thing, that those words that are criticizing you, study that. Because you want to understand why I feel like they don't understand. Which part exactly do I want them to understand? What part exactly do I need care? You're going deeper into your situation. In this caring, for me, I found out that whenever I say you don't care, you don't care, you don't care, it became a song. You don't care, you don't care, every time you don't care, you don't care. When I started now asking God, what part needs caring in me? I found out that it was me actually saying, God, you don't care. Because if you cared, then this wouldn't have happened. So when you start asking those questions and going deeper into those questions, you find your answer that this really is between you and God. You feel like, God, you don't care about me, because if you did, this wouldn't have happened. So when I tell my husband or anyone you don't understand, what really are they not understanding? Is it something you can explain for them to understand? So when you go deeper into the situation, you'll find your answers. You just have to do that by yourself in that alone time. Coming out of this victim mentality is really going to depend on what you are willing to do. You just have to be intentional about what you are going to start to put inside you, to invest in you, because you want to rewrite this damaged story. So for you to do that, you have to put in the work. Start where you are. I started where I was. I did not know God, but I started by just going to the library. I didn't have money. The minimum wage I was getting was really little for me to be buying books. I didn't have that type of money. So I just went to the library. Thank God for libraries here. They are free. All I needed to do was have a membership. So if I was going to sleep in the library, I would have, because I started reading books about my situation, because they had all the books that I needed. It just was the understanding was limited because I didn't know God. I didn't know how to align the two, you see. But if you invest in yourself by putting in that work, intentionally looking for books that talks about your situation, the rest is history. Guys, these help books helped me when I didn't know God. I started somewhere, and that was what I needed. I needed something to guide me. And those books did that job at that time, because I found out in those books that, all this victim mentality was just a way of me coping with my pain. I felt hopeless, guys. I felt hopeless. I felt alone. I was angry. I was filled with unforgiveness. I wanted to revenge. There was so much hate in me that was created. So my thinking was already messed up. So me trying to cope with all that, I had to play this victim game, I guess. That was the only solution for me at that my time. Anger, my ranting, all that ranting was just an indicator of all the issues that I was dealing within. So that negative thinking, that negative talking was just rotating my troubles. That's why I was just in a cycle of going round and round to nowhere, running to nowhere. I was stuck because I wasn't doing anything to move forward. It seems like my thinking, the negative thinking and the negative talk just wanted to push my loved ones very far so that I don't keep hurting them. Yet I didn't have solution for my own troubles. So I was now stuck in whatever what you call this, stuck in any addiction that I was. Like maybe, for example, at that time, I probably was, at that time I was addicted to these African movies. In that time, they didn't have YouTube where you can just Google African movies and you watch them. No, you would buy those CD players, those cassettes. You have DVD, DVD players. I had boxes of those African movies, so I would push my loved ones to just create a scenario where they say, oh, let's go eat somewhere, or they have something at the park. I'll say, oh no, I'll create a problem so they can go by themselves. Then I stay and then I'll binge watch those movies. Cry myself, cry, because I wanted sadness. So I would watch those sad African movies, and I will see myself in it and relate to those people and just cry. And then after that, nothing changes. So that's, if you don't seek that solution, you'll be stuck in that cycle of nowhere where you don't come up with any solution. So that cycle will be addiction of whatever addiction you're going through, whatever addiction it is. Yet you'll be pushing away your loved ones because you want to be alone. And to them, it's like, oh yeah, you are a loner, or you are this and that, but really you are trying to not hurt them. So it's better to intentionally find books that will help you. Find God first, then find the books. Well, if you find God, He will lead you to the help. That's the easy step. I went the long route. I went through my own strength, went around and then back to God, and then God showed me the proper way. So, to cut yourself from going the long route, just find you God. Once you find God, He would lead you to that right path for His name's sake. So really, guys, if you are still waiting for somebody to understand your situation, what you went through, for them to maybe feel sorry for you, just know it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, because people don't want to go deeper into the pain you went through, because they are also protecting their emotions, kind of, I think. So really, they don't want to relate. So if you are still waiting for that, oh, they have to feel sorry for me, I went through this and this, they have to understand, it ain't happening. So it's better for you to just get yourself together, pull your socks up, and find your healing, get out of that poor mentality by finding the right answer for you. But you have to intentionally do it yourself. The best way is you go to God by yourself, seek Him for yourself, know Him for yourself. He will give you the solutions that you need, because only Him can satisfy you. Only Him understands your situation, and only Him knows what to do in this situation. He knows exactly what you need, the care you need, the satisfaction you need, the appreciation you need, all that you are hungry for, that void, that emptiness, the love that you need, the hugs that you need, all that you need, He has it, and He knows exactly how to give it to you. He knows. What really helped me, guys, what really helped me was listening to that word. When I started listening to the word of God every day, there was no negotiation. So I cut off from the secular music and I started listening to that worship, the gospel music, the Christian music. If it wasn't the word, it was the Christian music. I was just bouncing back and forth. I wasn't a Bible reader or anything like that. I was just doing that word. What are they saying, those preachers? What are they saying? Let me hear. So I was just changing the way I think by hearing that word again and again and every day. It was like no negotiation whatsoever. And then I started reading the books that I had read before without God. I started reading those help books, especially the ones that were aligned with Christian values that I had. So I started going back to those books and seeing something I didn't see because I was just in a rush to get to get the help I needed. So I missed a lot of stuff. So I had to go back to those books again, reread the books, and started praying, the way I could, praying more and more. And as you go into this, you start increasing more and more, little by little, and God just keeps on providing the help you need in your way, in that path. So it is really important you start investing in your own self. And then before you know it, slowly but surely, you start changing the way you talk, the way you respond to people, your reactions start changing, your attitude start changing, you start seeing people differently. You start seeing them like, oh, you know what, they are not here to attack me after all. You start just breaking off those wrong assumptions, because that's wrong assumptions would have been the number one thing in there. You start breaking off from that. You start seeing you, the real you, and start loving you. Little by little, you start loving you, forgiving you. All those things, they start happening. It's like little steps. Maybe you won't even see it that time, but after a while, you start seeing it, and then your loved ones, you'll be like, something has changed about you. They might not pick what it is, but then you start being aware, like, yeah, something is changing. You will feel it and you will know it, that that something is really changing within. And then even your triggers, they won't bother you that much. Let's say first, if it was a dirty dish in the sink, it used to bother you that much that you react over it. Now you'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. Whoever, you'll be saying it nice, like, whoever left this dish, please come and clean it. And you go about doing your business. It doesn't bother you. It's not triggering any emotions inside you, because you are healing now. You are now seeing, like, you know what? I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm a child of God. and God has a plan for my life. I'm not gonna live in that pain, because you start seeing yourself differently. So things start changing everywhere. You start seeing, it's like you have new eyes, new ears, new understanding, new perspective. Everything is just shifting around you. And even that defensive posture, like you're always ready to fight inside, you're ready to fight, that defensive posture, it's like it starts melting away. It starts melting away. And then before you know it, the Spirit of God enters in your spirit, and you start seeing that that Spirit of God is working within you, because it can only dwell within you when you are not negative. Remember, because we'll be filled with so much negativity, like, oh, the world is negative, people are there to harm me, do wrong things. It's not your fault, of course, especially if it happened when you were a child, where your development is happening. Of course you're gonna think like that. Give yourself grace. Of course I had to give myself grace, like, of course I'm gonna think like that, and this has been in me like that. So you have to give yourself grace and start knowing that, you know what, changing my thinking is just going to require the Spirit of God to help me, because you've been in this thing for such a long time. So it's just going to require the Spirit of God to renew your mind daily. That's why I say, you know what, listening to that word of God, it's a good start. Do it daily, and make sure you have that alone time, because alone time will help you to see exactly what you are thinking. It will tell you fast, because it won't take that much time, because you're gonna think of the problems that you are having with your child, or you're gonna think of a situation that happened to work, and before you know it, after that situation, after you think about that situation, it's going to trigger some emotions. Now you're gonna see what those emotions are whispering. Now that chatterbox inside that mind, inside your head, is what you need to study. And for me, it took those books to know, okay, that's how you study your mind. I didn't think it's possible, but of course I'm not sitting and saying, okay, let me see what I'm thinking about. Okay, no, it's just something that you become aware of. And when you know God, start praying for God to open your awareness to what's going on inside of you and around you. Because once you start being aware of your emotions, your responses, or your perspectives, they change, because it just trains you to see, like, let's say your spouse made you angry. Now you are beginning to have this relationship with God. You are praying for self-control, because normally you would just react. That's a normal defensive posture. That was my normal defensive posture. I would just react. I don't even think about what happened here or how should I act. No, I'm just gonna react and say what I need to say. Let's just get this over it, because you're not gonna attack me. That was my defensive posture. But now, when God is transforming your mind, now going deeper inside you, now you step back, you assess the situation, you don't respond, you take a minute to think, like, okay, what's going on here? Am I being attacked? Do I feel attacked? Why do I feel attacked? Or do I feel like, this person don't care, that's why they did this? Whatever it is that's coming in your mind, you are able now to assess the situation. So the time you now have to respond, you already pass all that reaction phase, and then it gives you an opportunity to choose whether you want to rant or you want to breathe and let God do his work. So those things, it just takes a lot of work to master. So yeah, it can be done. Just invest in yourself, focus on God, and let him work in and through you. and let him transform your mind. Let him help you get out of that poor me mentality. It's not your fault. You were not born with that victim mentality. It's just something that you have to train yourself to get out of it now. You just have to invest in yourself. So that's it for today, guys. I hope somebody gets blessed out of this. You learn something from it. And you have a blessed week. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.